Good morning. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for being here this morning and for listening to this update on negotiations with Catholic employers towards a new enterprise agreement. The purpose of these hundreds of meetings is to do just that, to update you, our members, on just where we are up to with these protracted negotiations and where the sticking points are. We're not seeking to unnecessarily disrupt schools, to cause inconvenience, nor to score political points. If that were our aim, we'd have asked you to stop work for a much longer time than a single hour. I know there are many who are seeking more decisive action, who wanted a much longer stoppage today to show their anger and to show their frustration. To them, I ask for their patience. We have come a long way, but there's further to go yet. This union has never been afraid of a contrary opinion, nor of considering objectively any proposal. But that objectivity means that we will not have an agreement that rewards some and punishes others. We are not in the business of selling out our members. That's why we fought so hard against the initial CCER proposal, which attacked support and operational staff. We are not opposed to a single agreement covering the overwhelming majority of staff in Catholic schools, but we will not leave the one to suffer while protecting the 99. That is simply not what we do. Employers have told you that we're making progress. Yes, there is progress, but progress only from the abomination that they proposed on April the 7th. That proposal was a merciless attack on support staff and stripped back almost every condition in the teachers' agreement. It sought to remove all that we had won, to undo all that we had done. It started more than a conversation. The vocal and vehement opposition from members have forced them to withdraw from many of the nastiest aspects of that proposal. But there is still much in dispute. In short, teachers still do not have the conditions of their current agreement guaranteed in the most recent draft, and almost everything in our claim from 2013 has been rejected. For support and operational staff, the outstanding issues are mostly technical, but it's these procedural things our members expect us to get right. The two-page update you have received outlines our major outstanding concerns. Sick leave. Employers want to reduce personal leave to 15 days per year and in return remove the 150-day accumulation cap. Accumulated leave would become unlimited. While this could be a bonus for many workers, we want to do close modelling of the impact of this on various classes of employees. In addition, they're proposing a change to the way leave is credited. They're proposing a drip feed model where staff accumulate about half a day of leave each pay period. The union has not agreed to this change. Professional development. Employers have not withdrawn their insistence on PD being undertaken on weekends and during school holidays, and we're seeing increasing demands from some dioceses already, evidence enough of their ongoing intentions. RE accreditation. The demand for qualifications, accreditation and maintenance of that accreditation beyond what is required in government or independent schools must be matched by compensation. Catholic employers are offering no subsidy, time release or remuneration in the agreement. Just do it, they say, in respect of performance and development processes. Annual teacher performance and development processes are emerging as a condition of federal government funding. If this is to be the case, a consistent and uniform template for such processes is essential. If a template is not included as part of an enforceable industrial instrument, there is a very real risk of 11 vastly different diocesan models. The current position of employers is that this can be discussed individually with dioceses once the agreement has been finalised. This is not acceptable. Long service leave. The right to take short blocks of long service leave, currently existing in our agreement, have been removed, and no confirmation from CCER has been received, will be put back. Things like this are much more than oversights or irritants. They are deliberate omissions, symptomatic of studied miserableness. Workload agreements. This is a key issue and a major part of our claim from 2013. While employers have indicated they will preserve these agreements, employers have not agreed to include key elements in the agreement. Things like RFF, hours of work, class sizes, extras. These are things that have been regulated in government schools for years. Members in primary schools know that RFF is under attack. Catholic employers like to talk about salary parity with government schools, but they only want to cherry-pick the things they like from that sector. They want to copy the new salary scales, but they don't want to enshrine the working conditions or guarantee time release for induction and mentoring that exists in government schools. Flexibility. Employers continue to argue for a flexibility clause that in many cases would allow them to opt out of the conditions that are regulated. That is, they're prepared to have some conditions regulated as long as they have enough wriggle room not to be held to that regulation. Support and operational staff. While the employers appear to have withdrawn the proposal to substantially reduce support staff salaries, the issues around classification remain unresolved. As to the issue of conditions applicable to non-teaching staff generally, the employers have still not responded to our concerns that their original proposals will reduce the minimum periods of payment for part-time and casual employees, increase the span of ordinary hours of work for support staff, and require employees to work for 2 full weeks before receiving payment for performing higher duties. On the surface, this looks like more studied miserableness. There are a raft of other outstanding issues, some quite technical, that still remain contested. Your decision to stop work today to listen to this is significant. Some employers have set out to make it difficult for members to meet and participate in this update. You are, however, continuing to send a message to your employers that you are not satisfied with the progress of those negotiations. They will notice the stand that you are taking. In a moment, when this broadcast is finished, we need you to do a little more. We need you to discuss the contents of the rep and member update, to vote on the motion and to return it to the union. I ask also that you regularly check your email. In some cases, union emails are being directed to spam folders and many might miss important communications. Our website will be kept up to date with news, so you can always check for the latest information. www.ieu.asn.au. Thank you for your time this morning.